Good morning everyone, welcome to my studio. My name is Helen and I'm a jewellery artist, and this morning I've really enjoyed making a lovely tutorial for some autumn fall copper cuff bracelets. They're great for this time of the year, so that tutorial is now finished, so that'll be out very soon. Now in the studio today I'm on a little bit of a quest because I would like to make a charm. I'd like to make many charms, but I need to do one charm first, so you know I understand the process and how I make it. Not sure what design it's going to be. Have an idea of the technique. I think it's quite an interesting technique. I've not seen it on YouTube, but I'm sure there's people out there that do it. But first I need a good old cup of tea. I don't know if you can hear all the noise, but there is a lot going on. We've got a nature reserve behind us, and the stream has burst all its banks, so I think there's a few houses at risk on the other side. They're doing lots of drip digging, lots of tankering, and you know, and you can hear the pumps going and all sorts, and that's been going on for the last couple of days now. But you know, it's a necessity, isn't it? You know, at the moment all around the world, to be honest, there's something going on. So that's what, if you can hear any noises going on, that's what that is. Now I wanted just a little chat, just to thank everyone for all the kindness that has been shown. I've had some really lovely messages. I've had messages from wonderful people, both direct messages. I've had messages underneath the videos, and you're always welcome to comment and I will answer them. And also, even on the beach, I've been stopped and, you know, had a chat with a few people, and yeah, it's been really lovely. And I'm so glad that my studio vlogs, with the intention of bringing a little bit of joy and a little bit of something else into your life, whether it's inspiration or whether it's just a bit of fun, I'm just so glad that, you know, you see it as that, and I thank you for that very much. Which brings me on to October. Yes, those seasonal changes, the energies change, and there's a few people out there who have said, you know, they have the early SAD, seasonal affective disorder, and I want to say that I'm with you. Starts very early for me. October is the time that the energies, the natural energies, everything, big shift happens now. I feel it quite deeply. And to be honest, I just want to go to bed with some Netflix and Ben & Jerry and just chill the day away. But I make myself, this time of the year, I make myself do a little bit of yoga. Actually, it's called somatic yoga, which is rising of the energies, which I always find this time of year. In fact, I'll link the lady down below, because I find somatic yoga, is so healing as well. I show lots of different videos on all different subjects, but I just find that really uplifting. I also use Jess Heslop. She's a big YouTuber, and she does everything from manifesting, but she has another site which is for sleep. So she does a lot of sleep meditation. So if you're struggling not to get your hours in, you know, well, I like a good 8 hours, to be honest. But if you're struggling for that, then she can help you with that. So I just wanted to thank everybody and say there is help out there. It's just sometimes we need to share it and uplift each other. And I just wanted to say that your uplifting messages have uplifted me as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Cheers. Nothing better than a nice cup of tea with a bit of honey, a little bit of ginger, just to spark that day. Talking about sparking the day, I know what I want to do. I want to make a charm. I have an idea how I'm making it, but not really sure what the design's going to be. So I'm looking for a little bit of inspiration. So let's go and look at what we found down on the beach. So I know you could probably hear the waves crashing behind me because it's, you know, it's autumn now and the weather changes here on the beach quite quickly. Probably be hot and sunny tomorrow and everyone will be having a swim, but that's how it goes. But while I was walking on the beach looking for inspiration as usual to do something for the vlog back at the studio, I came across something that you wouldn't really expect to find. This! A pumpkin! No, I didn't really, just joking. I actually went to the community hall and there's a little craft fair on. It's on every Tuesday down in Saundersfoot, and they were actually knitting up these gorgeous little pumpkins there. So I thought that would be my inspiration for this week's make. I'm getting a bit blown away here. So Helen, let's see what we can do with that pumpkin. See you back in the studio. Little bit big for earrings, don't you think? So wasn't that exciting? Yes, I did cheat a bit really, because the lovely ladies at the local craft fair, it was actually a group of them in the middle of the community hall, were actually making these there, so I couldn't resist. And if they're still there, I'll hopefully get a big one as well this week. But anyway, I would really like to make a pumpkin charm, and it's something that I've been thinking about doing for ages. I'd really like to make some charms. I mean, they're really a big hit on that TikTok and other places, and I'd just like a few, you know, for myself, and they may turn out nice enough for, you know, a pair of earrings, not just like a charm thing. But my thoughts are, I'm not going to be sewing and I'm not going to be using the vise. I am going to be using is the Antex Wax Carver, and the technique I'm going to use is actually making my own embossing sheet. I haven't seen this done before. I'm sure people are doing it out there, but it's something that I've had on my mind for a while. And what it is to make this wax sheet into an embossing plate. So I'm going to use the Antex Wax Carver to emboss a shape of a pumpkin. This is going to go on to number 2, and I'm going to give it a little minute or two to heat up. Melt and remove is number 2, number 1 is carving. So we're going to melt and remove, and keeping my tip in a vertical position. So we're going to use one of these wax strips from the Ferris wax box, and what I've done is I've just cut them down. I've actually used a little saw with the wax saw blade in there to cut it down so I get these sort of shapes. I think I got 3 out of 1, and it's the 3.5 millimeter thickness. Alright, there we go. And my idea is to carve a pumpkin shape using the Antex Wax Master. It's just warming up now. This is a heat resistant sheet. I'm going to take my Antex Wax Carver and the wax, and first thing I'm going to do is draw a line down in the centre there. I've got the setting on setting to melt and remove. Making the sides a little bit fatter, but I'm trying not to go in too deep. The next line is going to go quite close. I'm going to do a moon shape. Come back to the right hand side and draw another one very close. Pumpkin-like, so we need to go back in. I think you can see it carving. I'm removing some of the wax now. These stringy bits are natural. That's what holds the wax together. I'm going to get more pumpkin-like. So now I'm at that stage, just going to bring in some sandpaper and sand all the wax down a bit that's accumulated, so it's nice and flat. A bit more. There we go. Let's see where we are now. So I can go back in now. Just go over where I need to go. I think the key is that sanding down, because you get a sort of a view of where you are and what you need to do. So I think we're ready for the next step. We've got our little embossing plate that we've made now, and what we're going to do now is roll some metal clay in there. So if you don't know, metal clay comes in all different metal clays. You can have silver, sterling silver, this is fine silver, this is copper and bronze. And what it does is that they're all little tiny particles, and they have a binding rather like clay to keep everything in place, and it's a natural binder. So what happens is you can, in this case, we're going to roll it into our embossing plate, and it's going to create the shape that we've carved out. Then once we've tidied it up and it's dried, we can fire it, and as we fire it, all the binder burns away, leaving all the particles of metals to start to sinter and fuse together. And the longer that you keep your flame on it, or if it's in a kiln, the more heat that it has, the more that it sinters, which does mean, although it keeps its shape, it does shrink down quite a lot, because obviously all the binder's gone. I'll get you down onto this table and we can have a look at the next step. So I ended up doing a couple of little pieces just to try it out. The technique seems to work really well. I'm going to go with this one because it seems to be just a bit more ingrained, and I'm just going to slip on a little bit of cool slip onto the wax. I was originally going to put some saran wrap between the wax piece and the clay, but I think this will give it a really nice crispness about it if I do it straight onto the clay. Let's have a little look. sometimes the saran wrap can just take away the edges a bit. So I've got a little bit of clay, a little bit much actually. So this is our fine silver in clay form. I'm just going to pop that down to cover. These are rolling guides. Now this wax is quite thick, so I'm going to come up quite a few first. That's about it. And then I'm going to put the last one on. So it's going to work out about 1 mil thickness. So I've done the thickness of the wax, and then I want to put a 1 mil thickness of the actual piece. I'm just going to start in the middle and roll across like that. And let's see if that has worked. Oh, yeah, I think that's a really nice. Let me just bring in a little Teflon sheet. That's not bad, is it, really? It's quite interesting. And it looks like a pumpkin to me. So what we're going to do now is just cut around all this. Cut out all the, take all the excess away. There are lots of different tools you can use. I quite like using these tees. Sometimes I'll use an awl, and you can get proper needles for it as well, but I've misplaced mine. Can't find it anywhere at the moment. I'm going to let him dry now before sanding him off and firing him. I really like him. Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I really enjoyed making these little pumpkin earrings. They were a lot easier to make than I thought in the end, so I did turn the charms into pumpkins. I think next time we'll do a little bit of colour. I think they'd be great with a bit of colour on. But yeah, real fun project to do. But thank you all for watching, and please remember to create the life you love. Bye.